Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jace from the Glitter Guy, and I am here with another Quack Pack craft. This is February 2023's craft. What we are going to make in this one is a super cool charcuterie board with cheese knife and paired keychain with NFC chip so that you can make it into a business card. I'm gonna start with the keychain first. Let me get this cutting board off to the side. The cool part about the keychain is that included in the Quack Pack was an NFC chip. And I was already getting some messages because I'm a little late on this tutorial. But an NFC chip is, if you're unfamiliar, very thin tag that can be programmed to hold multitudes of information. The specific use that I'm using it for us for the Quack Pack is so that you can make it into a business card. This keychain, essentially, you'll program this guy, and what you can do is, if you have a link tree, you can put your link tree on it, you can put your website on it. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna program it to go to theglitterguy.com, but like I said, you guys can add whichever information you'd like to add to yours, and we'll go over exactly how to do that. So, on the website with the listing that the QR code will bring you to and the info card that comes in the box, it will bring you to a listing that has everything, all the information, and also the link to this tutorial and everything. I've added a link to the apps that you can use. The app that I'm going to show you guys how to use on here is NFC Tools, and that is available on Android and iOS, so that's why I chose this one to use, because there's a couple options that are either Android only or iOS only, but I thought that this would be the easiest, and it's super easy to use. I actually tried it right before we got on here. So when you first install the app, it'll give you a quick rundown of what it does and what the options are. Very user-friendly. There's a read option, a write option, other, and tasks. For what we want to do right now, we just want to write. So you're going to go to write, you go to add record, and what we want is we want a URL. So I want to go to www.theglitterguy.com, and that's what I want it to do. So obviously both of these are the same link because I did it earlier, so I'll delete one of them. So then what you want to do is you're going to click write. It says approach an NFC tag. Now iOS phones and Android phones are a little different from each other, but my Android phone, the reader is dead center in the back. So if I try to touch it to the top, nothing happens. The bottom, nothing happens. But if I slowly glide it to the middle, boom, write complete. Done. That easy. Now this tag has my website on it, and I can prove that very quickly. Ready? We'll go to the home screen. Let me just slide the tag till it hits the middle. Chrome, glitterguy.com. So now that we have our tag written with the information that we want to apply it to our surface. Obviously, there's a ton of room here for us to be able to do that. So we're gonna peel back, and now this is where you can really do like whatever you want. You can paint it, out in a base coat. You can, actually I'm gonna keep my backing on the one side so that I can paint this side without having to worry about getting paint on my other side. But I think for my keychain, I was going into Sarah's paint collection and we got some folk art color shift. I thought it looked really cool. It's like kind of a pinky, purpley color shift paint. Cut up some scraps of vinyl to the side here to use as my little paint spot. We might do the whole craft in this. I'm trying to avoid getting it on my fingers instead of just putting gloves on. Now we can work. Paint my edges. Yeah, I'm gonna let that dry a little bit, and then we will move on to our cutting board, because same thing, we're gonna have some things to base out and paint so that we can keep moving, keep on getting our base layers going, because this stuff shouldn't take too long to dry. So what I was gonna do for the knife is I'm only gonna do the handle. I don't want to seal the top part that I would potentially be cutting cheese and stuff with epoxy. So I'm going to paint the base of this handle. I think this paint was really nice, so we're gonna go with this on a wood base and see how that comes out. Let's say that that's about the blade. not bad. This guy. Still gonna touch a little. Better than the whole thing touching. For the heart, we can get into the whole rest of like what the goal is here. 2 different decal options. Really, there's room to put them either way. And then a misstep in the design a little bit here. And we found out after hundreds of these were shipped, and I apologize, but the text isn't backed. So I'm gonna use that opportunity to try and have like a cooler effect. So because it's not backed, that means it's transparent. So it'll show whatever's behind it. So if I just applied it as is, the text would look wood colored. It's not bad. So if I paint it or I glitter it, whatever underneath, that's what's gonna show there. So the glitters that came with the box are Disco Dust. We have the New Fusion Freaky Naughty, a large shaker of Girls Dreams, because that was originally released in the sub box, so I wanted to at least increase it to a normal shaker size. But when this came out in the Advent box, I claimed it immediately for February sub box because I really love this color, and I feel like it's going to be perfect for the look that I'm trying to achieve. Also, what came with the box is some very, very fragile foil. Rose gold and silver. I know it's gonna be torn. That's why multiple sheets came in your box. It's on purpose. So it's fragile, very. But the point of that is, you'll see, we're only gonna be using little tears in places. That's why the box came with a fan brush. So the fan brush is necessary to get the look, the effect that I'm going for with the foil. And then that's also where the tacky tape comes in, because we're gonna do some lines with the fan brush with the tacky tape, and we're gonna put the foil on that and then rip the foil away. And it should leave like a really cool pattern. After that, we'll epoxy it over, and then we'll be able to choose our decal. Like I said, there's kind of room here that I feel like I might do both. Let's start with purple. Hope I don't get upset by my decision. We are just going to base out in purple. And we're gonna paint the sides, because I got purple on the sides. Cool. While we have the purple out, why don't we peel the back of this guy and we'll do the back of this keychain in purple, because I think that the front is dry enough that I can let it sit on the other side. Do I need more paint? Are we good? Cool. Now we just gotta let paint dry a little bit, and then we will move on to doing our foil. To do the foil, tack it. I know a lot of people have a smidge of issues with the application process, so you wanna water it down a little bit. So in this little cuppy, I have a tiny bit of water, and you just want to have it bend. I don't want to use this brush to mix, but I'm gonna. All right, this is looking good. There you go. Where it like kind of drips. I'm gonna let that sit for a moment, just till this continues drying. This shouldn't have too much more time left for the paint to dry, and we'll get to applying. All right, cool, so we let our paint dry. We're gonna take our fan brush with our tack glue. I'm gonna kind of get rid of the excess. I'm gonna brush a thin layer and use the fan brush's pattern to kind of help you out a little bit. I want it to be a little streakier. I'm trying to create like 4 areas because the decals will get placed kind of covering a little bit of them too. All right. So with the tacket, you want to let it dry for a little bit. It doesn't take very long because it stays tacky, so it doesn't necessarily like completely dry. Actually, while we have this wet, I want to do a little tear on the handle of this too. So let's do like a bit there, like a bit. Oh, that's a lot. That wasn't a bit at all. My brush started doing now what I wanted it to do before, so I probably should have distressed it a little bit, because then when you go to apply the glue, it'll streak a little more, and then you get a little more of the rip pattern. So my sheets might come out a little more whole than I originally intended. Let this dry a little bit. Let's start with silver. So we're gonna pull the whole jobber out of here. grab, put this one here. This is getting stuck to my finger, so I probably shouldn't do it that way. I'll take one of my brushies. But I definitely wanted more silver than that, so let's put some more silver out. Right, once again, the gloves are right next to me. Rose gold. Here we go. I'm gonna just like put the whole sheet on and like see what happens. Oh. It's just gonna stick to wherever the glue stayed. Let's just do what I did with this one too, with the whole sheet. Just kind of let it happen. Oh yeah. I actually kind of like what's happening right now. Once again, I'm not wearing a glove on this hand. Like I said, if the brush was given a little more of the spread thing, I would have had a little more of the spread look, but honestly, I really like what ended up happening here. So the whole point of it is that it ended up with like a distressed type look. And obviously, we're gonna end up covering a smidge of this as well too. Oh, I almost forgot our little handle. A little bit of silver, all right. Gold on the rest. And then I'll just use my hands to let it brush off what did not stick. I'm not mad at it. Put that to the side. I'm gonna put our knife to the side. I'm gonna clean up our little station a smidge. So, let's bring this back. Actually, so now, like I said, because the letters are transparent, you're gonna be able to see them. Actually, these are gonna look gold, and then these other ones should look like silver and gold. I am going to apply, actually, my decal right to this, because I wanna be able to epoxy and glitter at the same time. I try to cut out as many steps with things as possible. This decal, unlike last Quack pack, which went on a mug, is obviously getting applied to a flatter surface. So this is gonna be a lot easier. I'm not going to do my normal Windex. I don't feel that that is absolutely necessary here. So we're gonna put this guy here, and this guy's gonna go right here. Yep, just like that. Also, with the box, came some CC DIY artist resin. My box got a yellow stick. Your box might have got a different colored one. Also, forgot to grab out of the bag the little lobster claspy guy. So let's get our resin mixed up. I'm gonna start with 20 milliliters. So we got lines on here to make it a little easier for you. Light in this room, it's hard to see the lines a little bit. It is okay. So what I thought that I'd do for this is I'm going to add a little bit of disco dust to the epoxy so that I can get like a silver shimmer over the whole thing. And then I'm going to add bits of the Girl's Dream and of the Freaky Naughty in like areas. Mix a little bit of disco dust in here. Doesn't take a lot. Sides. If you did your sides, another option that we could have done was I could have taped off my sides and we could have just created kind of like a little miniature table. Obviously this is going to epoxy itself to the mat, but it's a silicone mat, so it'll peel right up and we'll be able to just take a Scotty peeler or a sharp-edged blade and clean it up. Make sure that we don't have it too thick on top. While we still have our epoxy, we want to definitely do the handle of our knife. So with the handle, same thing. This to dry, whole lot of different options. You could try to rig it up to your cup turner, which is probably what I'm likely gonna do. Yeah, so I'm just taking one of my cup chucks from Craft Crate. The end of the knife kind of sticks through it. And I'm taking some painter's tape. It doesn't always have to be the like best engineered thing to get you through. If it just, especially if it's like a one-time project, hey, a little bit of painter's tape, no problemo. Normally I use a torch. Sarah got herself a fancy heat gun, so we'll use this to pop the bubbles. My bubbles don't pop, then I blame Sarah. That should do it for this guy though, and then all we really want to button up is our keychain. You can go with the foil look on it still. I wanted to definitely use some of this glitter to tack it. Also, I included holographic glitter specifically because that's what works best with the tack it method. I know that we didn't tack it any glitter onto the actual cutting board. That's just not specifically what I was trying to have this craft centralized around. Doesn't mean you can't do it still. Because tack it methoding holographic glitter is hands down my favorite way to apply glitter to anything. Glued both sides. Not sure why I glued both sides. Just getting overexcited, I guess. I don't want to get too much in that, so we're going to use this as our catch. Let this dry just a little bit. Like I said, it doesn't take too long. It's been sitting in the cup for a couple minutes now too, so it's kind of like drying a little bit too. Put a bit of it on there. So you want to burnish the glitter, so you get it on the glue, and that's rubbing it in and off. You see, if you get it right, then it essentially, it kind of like removes the glitter almost, but keeps the holographic effect. So you end up with almost like a smooth surface. These lend to why holographics are my favorite and why tack it method is my favorite. I feel like you get the most, I don't know, bang for your buck with the glitter when it comes to tack it methoding stuff. So that's that. This on here. We'll just get her glittered up, epoxied up with the rest of our epoxy in here. And let's not forget the most important thing, and that is applying our NFC tag. Take our NFC tag and I should have put this under the paint and stuff, but that's fine because it can just be on the back. You can hide this. It's so flat. It's literally just a flat sticker like a decal. Honestly, you can hide it with a decal. I could put this on. I could go and get another decal that goes right over top of this, completely hide it. Could paint over it. Could glitter back over it. Just for the sake of this, we're gonna keep on going, and we'll utilize this as the front, and then the sticker will just be on the back. Yeah, we'll epoxy the sticker in. You didn't have a sticker. And once this side cures, flip it over, we'll do the other side. And then that's when you have the option, like I said, you can add your business name, add your own personal name, whatever you'd like. Sky's kind of the limit there. That's all I have for this craft. I hope you guys really liked it. Something to look forward to is the NFC tag and acrylic blank keychain idea is going to continue on for every box. So I'm always going to give you a new tag and another new different themed type of blank. I just felt like that would be something fun to just accompany each box's craft. So can't wait. Hope you guys really enjoyed this one. If you enjoyed the craft, make sure you stay subscribed to the box. Look forward to April's craft coming in a couple months. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit all the appropriate buttons down below.